Oh, hey there. I'm Hannah.
I'm Echo.
And I'm Crystal.
And this is a news, culture, and current events podcast from the perspective of 3 YouTubers.
Hey, Echo.
Yes?
What are you salty about today? You salty Sandy.
I am salty about quite a few things. Specifically, some of the new policies that YouTube is putting out into the world and enforcing.
Oh, man, YouTube policies.
That's a good one. Wow, Echo, you are really good at picking topics. You picked a perfect topic to talk about today.
Topic
we totally didn't just decide this beforehand.
You're so smart and beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You're so smart and beautiful.
You're welcome. Do you want to share with us what's actually been going on?
Okay, so my understanding of this is that YouTube has essentially implemented a new restriction on the partnership program. For anyone who's new here or doesn't really pay that close attention to like YouTube culture, the partnership program is the program that allows people uploading videos to YouTube to make money. It's essentially YouTube gives us the opportunity to become a partner with the website and earn part of the ad revenue. So it used to be that kind of like, my understanding is that before all of these like restrictions were put on it, pretty much anyone could just apply to the ad or to the partnership program and become a partner, right?
Yeah.
But
there was one limitation. It was 10,000 lifetime views, which is like in the grand scheme of the internet, that's like nothing.
Yeah.
Like lifetime views, they add up super fast. I have like something around 28 million, and that's like way more than I've ever gotten on any single video.
Even that isn't that new. Like, wasn't... Because before, I feel like they didn't even have that one. And then...
They added it in... They didn't have it in, like, 2009.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
But they had it...
I'm pretty sure they had it
year,
when I started
least.
in 2013, 2014. I'm pretty sure that was a thing.
I think you're right. Because I didn't make my first cent. I wrote in my journal when I made my very first cent on YouTube. I was like... freaking the freak out. And this is what we're going to talk about later, how soul-crushing it is to small YouTubers to not be able to... Just another threshold that you have to cross.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
We'll get there. So anyway, they've implemented
it's a big deal.
New one. They've implemented a new level that you have
It's
to
also important to say
over.
that it's like a little sudden. It was kind of like in the still of the night. Like this news has come about.
Yeah.
Like, there was no... I mean, there was a warning. It
I
won't be
mentioned
implemented for a month, but it's still kind of sudden.
Also, the timing.
They did give us a month.
The timing was terrible.
If you listened to our last podcast, we talked about some big YouTubers doing some naughty things. So this seemingly comes...
Naughty.
We'll get into that, like what it's in response to later. But it seemingly, the timing of it comes as though it's a response to that. And so it's like people... It feels as though YouTube is punishing small YouTubers with behaviors of bigger YouTubers, even though it's not. Timing, guys.
It feels
timing
like
is
it's in response. It's and I know
because
that
it's so recent.
They've released statements saying that they've been planning to do this new like level of hoops that you have to jump through to become a YouTube partner.
Yeah.
That they've been planning to do this for a really long time, but because
they
of
said
the
they mentioned it in December, but I don't remember.
Shall we give backstory about? Okay, so if you follow, I mean, I think if you even just follow the damn news, last year PewDiePie made such a hubbub with the Nazi thing that he lost his he lost his preferred, blah, blah, blah. That gave us YouTubers, what we call the adpocalypse.
The first adpocalypse.
It was that started the whirlwind, and then news outlets got word that, demeaning YouTubers got them a lot of clicks, and then they started going into YouTube and finding advertisements, like Coke advertisements next to, like, ISIS recruitment videos. And it became a thing, TM. And a lot of advertisers pulled out, and it was bad for everybody. Everybody lost a lot of money. And so YouTube is now trying to, like, romance all the advertisers back to be like, please, baby, come back. Oh, baby.
See,
that's exactly what it is.
YouTube is in like this weird threesome with itself, advertisers, and the creators, and it's like it lost one of its bays, and now it's trying to win that bay back by being like, no, we can totally like I can take away attention from like this other bay and give it to you.
Yeah.
And then like we're like, what the heck?
Baby, I'll change.
What are you
doing?
I'll change.
And also I know personally this news came as a frustration because supposedly YouTube already took an action to fix this. So they took it from the 10,000 lifetime views to like 4,000 hours. What was it like?
Yeah, 4,000 hours in the last year.
Yeah,
which is.
What was the fix before? When
this
happened, when the adpocalypse happened in April, they made the fix. Was that the 10,000 views?
That may have been.
That was the 10,000 views.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I remember someone mentioning that they had certain restrictions, and then they took away all the restrictions, and essentially said, anyone can do it. Like, anyone can apply for the partnership program, and then they started reintroducing new restrictions. So the first one was that, like, the 1,000, 10,000, whatever it was, and now they're doing the, 4,000 hours of watch time in a year, and...
1,000.
1,000.
They didn't have any sub count.
I think the 10,000 lifetime views was in response to the adpocalypse to be like, hey guys, it's fine. Only people who blah blah blah. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So from my perspective,
should have written a date. I didn't.
I was a little irritated because I was like, I mean, this doesn't affect me. I meet the qualifications, but as somebody who was a small YouTuber for like 2 years, like, this already was fixed.
It's soul crushing for real. It's not like you're missing out on that much money.
No,
like,
it's not about the money.
There's a huge discrepancy in the amount of money that we make as YouTubers. Like, it's not much at all from AdSense. It's really a small amount. It's more about like the idea that small YouTubers don't count enough to even make any money. I don't know. There should be more of a reward for people who have stuck around for years and years. Because, listen, this is, I think, the biggest deal in this. No channel was grandfathered in.
Yeah, that one made me really sad.
That is a huge deal.
Like, there were...
That, I think, is the one mistake they made in this whole situation.
There were channels who were, like, celebrating their 10th year on YouTube, the, like, decade on YouTube, and then they got an email that was immediately after it.
That's
like,
crazy.
Oh, by the way, you're losing your partnership.
And what a lot of consumers and, like, casual viewers and even big YouTubers, I think, don't realize is that there are small YouTubers who don't meet the 1,000 or, like, the 4,000 hour qualifications that have been on this website for 10 years uploading family-friendly content. Like, it seems like, well, why would you bother if you're not making that dough? But, like,
that's not what it's about.
A lot of people don't do it for that. And so to have that person who's been here since the beginning, like, that's kind of, like, I don't know. Not
cool.
A
lot of people are pointing out that, like, from a monetary standpoint, like, all of this completely makes sense. Like, if you analyze it from, like, a humanless perspective of, like, you're not making that much anyway, there's no real need for you to be part of the partnership program, like, all of that, it's just having this thing taken away from you after it's like, here, look, you matter, you're equal, and then it stings. It just hurts. From a psychological standpoint, it makes you feel like garbage.
Yeah, and I personally got a little frustrated just because I saw a lot of, I won't name anybody, but just big people saying like, hey, small people, use this as a motivation, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to make money. You didn't even make that much money in the first place. I'm like, STFU and GTFO. It was never about the money. Like, don't talk to me if you hit 1 million subscribers in a year. Like, you have no business in this conversation.
You don't get the struggle. Yeah, I understand that.
It hurts. It makes you feel like you don't matter.
Yeah. Like, when I first heard about it, I kind of felt indifferent to it almost, because I could understand YouTube's perspective, and because I feel like I've slowly...
See, I was furious at first.
See, I felt disconnected from it, because I feel like I've almost lost that little sense of empathy towards, like, the small YouTube, like,
community.
Culture, yeah. And so, like, in my head, I was like, I know I should be more outraged by this than I am, but I feel like I feel like I can see it from YouTube's perspective.
I understand that totally.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I was like, it just felt wrong. The whole thing felt so wrong in my head.
Yeah,
that makes total sense.
It's very...
See,
like,
I didn't get it from YouTube's perspective.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't get it from YouTube's perspective at all at first. I was so mad.
I understand.
For, like,
I had
the
a
first
weird mix.
2 days.
I understood because, I mean, it makes sense. Because of the adpocalypse.
Let's explain why. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the adpocalypse, there was this problem. Right, Hannah? You can continue.
Yeah, all these like extremist videos. Not like, okay, PewDiePie was the first, but it was not PewDiePie that was the problem. There were people like beheadings and stuff, like actual terrorist stuff and actual white supremacy stuff. Yeah, that needed to not have ad revenue from it, obviously. That stuff was being uploaded, these creepy kids cartoon things, which was my personal favorite.
Well, that was Adpocalypse 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, Adpocalypse 3.0.
I think it was
the third.
Well, okay, let's walk people through the Adpocalypse process, because we jumped from 1 to 3.
We're currently going on Adpocalypse
We have so many.
4, potentially. Like, that's the next one that
Okay,
could
so
unravel,
Adpocalypse 2
4.
was YouTube's response of just trigger happy, demonetize everything. Everything and anything, and if you're not big enough, which we touched on before in last episode, if you're not big enough like myself, or you don't have the right friends, your stuff's not going to get remonetized in a timely manner. So that was Apocalypse 2.0, and we're still feeling the residuals of that, and that has its own problem about like the suppressing of views even after the fact that we'll maybe make another podcast about. But 3.0 was Elsagate, which a whole bunch of kids, that's what Hannah was saying, the kids' videos.
Elsagate.
Oh, yeah, Elsagate.
So
I forgot about that.
So
I forgot that name.
Oh my god, it was so upsetting, and that's my favorite one.
Terrifying.
That's my favorite
one. Kids being shown, like, atrocious videos.
Oh, it's just something that you knew in the back of your mind existed, but you were hoping you'd never see it.
Yeah.
You know, it never reached the light of day.
Yeah, well, people...
It's just under the surface.
They took advantage of the YouTube Kids app, and it got in front of a lot of kids, and that made it worse. More advertisers pulled out.
Yeah. The reason why I think they're doing this time is the re-uploading problem, where people would just take videos that were pulled down or just... I don't
Somebody
know, any
stole
video
all of my channel's videos once.
Yep, me too. It happens all the time. Especially when I was doing animations. People would take those and re-upload them like crazy. And that's why, like, what are those called when you just put all your videos together?
Compilation?
Compilation?
Compilation. Thank you. Why did I just blank on that word? Compilation videos are so important to animation channels, and don't do them. Don't take animations from people's channels and just put them together and then put them on your channel. That's a bad thing to do because they spend a lot of time on that. Okay, that's just my one thing from being an animation channel. Anyways, people would just re-upload things, and I think that's what's happening with Logan Paul's video. It was just uploaded so many times, and they got thousands of views, and the ads were still on that awful, awful video. And that, I think, is why they're rolling it out right now.
That makes
or maybe
sense.
They had planned it in
I didn't
advance.
even think of that. That makes so much more sense.
That's what I was thinking.
I've heard people
That's the only thing that I can...
how they essentially can't explain what the problem that they're getting rid of is because of this. It's one of those things where it's like if you talk about the problem, you can create the problem. So they have to, like, I forget who it was, but he was explaining, like, this is why they're not being transparent about this, because it has to do with all of the, like, the fake channels and stuff that are going up out of nowhere. That it's a way to, like, limit.
And they don't want to encourage it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
By the way, we never actually stated what YouTube said, which I think is, the way they worded it, I think is very interesting. When they said, they said, okay, here, let me just read this bit. They will, let me go back a little bit. We've arrived at these new thresholds after thorough analysis and conversation with creators like you. They will allow us to significantly improve our ability to identify creators who contribute positively to the community and help our ability to identify creators who contribute... Oh, I just read that same line. Somebody else read this. I don't know how to read. They will allow us to significantly improve our ability to identify creators who contribute positively to the community and help drive more ad revenue to them and away from bad actors. I thought that little parentheses was so interesting, why they put away from bad actors. I don't even know what that means. I just thought it was like... At first I was like, are they talking about Logan Paul? Like, oh shit, YouTube drama, guys. Like, he's gonna go punch someone. And now I just don't even understand what that means. I just really like that they, like, added somebody, you know?
I feel like they're essentially bad actors because he's an ex-actor.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit!
Bad actors.
I don't think that's literally what they meant.
No, I feel like they're using that phrase as a like an outlier, kind of like away from the outliers or the bad eggs. I feel like layman's term it would be the bad eggs. But they're a company. They can't say the bad eggs.
Oh, I would love if they did.
That's fair.
The not so good beans.
I love it. I'm going to take it as like a sly shade.
Him and his crappy
That's
acting.
how I choose to interpret. I just thought it was so funny.
No, but a lot of people were mad because, without the knowledge of the uploading and, that, it does seem like it's in response to Logan Paul.
The timing.
It absolutely does.
And beyond
I read news articles that they said it was in response to Logan Paul. Like
they don't do their research, though. I mean, this is the sad thing. It's because news sources do not take us legitimately, so they don't take us as serious. So they don't feel like we're worth the research. And so
they're like, this stupid kid did this stupid thing. What a surprise! It's because of the Tide Pod challenge, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't take us seriously either.
We're just like click pieces. Our whole culture,
pretty much.
We don't get the research we deserve.
But even with all of this, a lot of the small YouTube community was really upset, rightfully so. And just I started uploading in late 2013 or 2014, and it took me a year to get 100 subscribers and 2 years to get 500 subscribers, just because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And there was a time in which I was stuck on 126 subscribers for 3 months. And that was the most, hardest shit. It was super hard. So I'm looking at it from a perspective of somebody who's been there. Like, as a small YouTuber, you constantly have to keep yourself motivated. You are the person who picks yourself up. You are the person giving yourself motivation because YouTube's not going to do it for you. And, like, if one person comments, you're like, that's it! That's why I made the video! Like, there's this super hard, like, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. And then when all this stuff happens, and small people are getting the brunt of it, honestly, to go through 3 adpocalypses and then to have this, I have friends on my profile who straight up said, fuck it, I'm done. Like, I have picked myself up too much. And it's not about the money. It's about the fact that YouTube gives no fucks about me. And they're tired. Understandably so.
Yeah. I totally understand. I was stuck at 44 subscribers when I was just doing paint art videos. 44 was my number, and it went on forever. And I remember that feeling to this day, and that's why I think I have so much sympathy for like small YouTubers. It is. I think soul crushing is just the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
It's something that you love so much, and when you're not succeeding, it's the worst feeling. I know that sounds like so like pamby-wamby, but like it's so legitimate. You feel awful, and just new thresholds and new like ways to exclude small YouTubers.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Just exhausting.
It's just exclusionary. It's excluding them specifically. I don't know.
It's salt on the wound, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like
that's the best way to describe it.
It doesn't feel like they completely take into account how this is going to just kill morale for small YouTubers.
Somebody put it, I forgot, somebody on Twitter phrased it as, I think it was Emma Blackery, actually, saying, like, everybody's saying, oh, YouTube doesn't care anymore. She's like, guys, they've never cared. Like, I hate to burst your bubble, but if you aren't a top-tier YouTuber, they don't care. I care about you. Your viewers care about you, but YouTube themselves, they don't. And it's like, it's been like this. Like, this isn't new. You know what I mean? And small YouTubers, they feel that. You know what I mean?
That's so sad. It's
the
absolutely true, though.
Like, with small YouTubers, maybe this is just me, but, like, when I was a small YouTuber, I always thought, like, oh, it's going to get better. It's going to be better when I'm bigger. When I'm bigger, they'll care. They'll care about me later. I just have to work hard for now. And then you get to this position, and they still don't. And it just feels like you're just, like, running on a treadmill and not going anywhere. I don't know. It just kind of sucks. Because it's like now I talk to like smaller YouTubers and I feel like I see that in them when they're like, oh, like I'll get 1 million subscribers. I'll show them. And I'm just like...
That's what she was saying.
Changes.
Like, goes the rest of that tweet. I lost my train of thought. She said you're essentially like stepping on the new growth of the platform. I don't know if it was her or somebody else. But like you are stifling the people who are going to be the stars in 5 years. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to keep the same people. Like, and by doing this, you're stifling that. And I understand from a business perspective. I think they need to do something else in tandem to re-encourage them.
They need to start more programs like Next Up, I think, is the answer to this. But again, they might just be thinking, like, since we're such an internet culture now, like these Instagram models, these Twitter gurus, whatever, all these people who are famous on other, or, you know, quote unquote famous on other platforms, internet famous at least, they'll be able to move on YouTube and be successful right away.
Yeah.
Or kids like Logan and Jake Paul, you think they've had to work for money their whole life? You think they've had to have a full-time job while they've done YouTube ever? Like, it's not the money that was important to them anyways. They have the luxury of not having to worry about that sort of thing. Again, I don't know their life, but, you know.
For certain.
I get the,
they were on,
the feeling.
Who is it? Not Logan. I can never remember their names. I feel so bad. The other one? Jake. He was the Disney one? Or were they both on Disney?
Jake. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I feel like I know more about them than I want to.
I know.
But because they came over from TV, they already had that presence, that following. The amount of, like, following that you would need to kickstart a channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they wouldn't know what
I think that might be what YouTube's counting on. Just having stars from other platforms be able to be the ones that are the new YouTube stars.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does make sense, but that's so sad. The whole appeal of YouTube was you. Be your own blah, blah, blah. Broadcast yourself was their old tagline.
That was YouTube in 2010, man. It's not that anymore.
Okay, so in the UK, I have a special story about the whole you and YouTube thing. Because I had a friend who was pointing something out after, like, I went to the UK and I spent some time over there just, like, with friends and stuff. And when I was in London, they were talking about this one ad campaign because they were putting a bunch of YouTubers on, like, buses and stuff. They were having a huge ad campaign. And it was, God, what was the main tagline? It was, like, made for you. And it was, like, the set of YouTubers. And the whole thing was just like, yeah, we made this for you. This is a thing for you. And so all of these YouTubers were supposed to make things for you. So it was stuff that was specifically for their audiences. And my friend came over and was like, the whole reason that they're doing that is because they're trying to rebrand instead of broadcast yourself, consume the content because it's made for you. You're a viewer now. You are not a broadcaster. You're an observer. You're a sponge that sucks up the content, not like something that puts out who you are to the world. And it was just like kind of soul crushing because they're changing what the you means in YouTube.
It's just TV now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just TV all over again. Now what are we going to do? What is going to be our nerdy kid platform?
Yeah.
Well, we can still continue. That's the thing. We can still have our lunch table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just not going to be like YouTube. The principal is not going to give two fucks. They're going to continue to like be like, "Hey, head cheerleader, good job. Hey, class president, good job."
Let's pump all of the funding into the sports team.
Let's give all of the funding to the sports team.
That's literally
that was in high school 1,000,000%.
Same.
We had like old ass textbooks and then super fucking new uniforms, new field, new stadium.
The art supplies are crap. The yearbook has no funding. What art supplies?
What art supplies?
It was awful.
All of the funding goes to the sports teams.
Oh my god. That's exactly what's happening.
That's literally what's happening.
And it's art too. Oh, this is another thing I wanted to mention.
What's that?
Animation channels. They're hurting us again.
Yeah.
Again, with this 4,000 hour thing.
Oh, dude.
That is directly, like, almost directly targeting. Why would they put that in
That's so
there?
true.
Why would they do that?
Okay.
It's exactly...
Context. For viewers. Viewers who don't understand, or listeners who don't understand. Animation is hard as fuck.
It's so hard.
It takes so much time to get a minute of work done. I attempt to make halfway animated videos that are 8 minutes long. That shit takes me over 40 hours a week. To do straight animation, a minute. Hannah, how long does a minute of straight animation take to do?
I mean, I hurt myself a lot, but it would do 2 days of like 12-hour, maybe more. It was a lot.
Yeah. So to get that just means of all of that work you're uploading a minute, and to get 4,000 hours from that minute, it's going to take an animation channel exponentially more time and exponentially more work to be the equal amount of successful as somebody who just like sits in front of their camera and eats chips. Like, if that's the kind of content you make, no hate, but at the same time, it's just YouTube is being biased in that way.
This has been a whole thing on YouTube. I don't even know why they did that. With animation channels specifically, every time they implement anything that favors watch time, it hurts animators specifically.
I guess the idea is that they'd click off the video if they didn't like it, so it kind of prevents like clickbait. I would think is the idea. I would hope is the idea.
I feel like that's why they also partly implemented, apparently if when someone's watching your video, if someone clicks another YouTube video after watching your video, you get like bonus points, kind of.
Yeah, you do.
In the algorithm. So if you have a video that keeps people on the site, so like if someone leaves the website from your video, it's really bad for you.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that. You guys know so much about this stuff.
I've had to. It's how I survived this long. Yeah, so, I mean, we can go into the algorithm all day, but that's another podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The algorithm definitely hurts animation channels, though. I noticed that so much when I was animating.
It does.
Every time a new rollout of something would happen, it would be like 1/4 of my revenue gone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Animation vlogs are doing well, though, so that's cool.
Vlogs?
The animation vlogs.
If your audience likes them.
Oh, yeah, I know. If your audience likes them.
Like, what's her name?
Sorry. It sounded like I was, like, talking shit about vlog audiences.
Or, like, Tim Tom. All of them.
I mean,
like,
they're
those
great.
kind of animation vlogs. They're doing really well on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
They're doing really well.
And I'm happy for them.
It's a magical, I don't understand. I am very happy. I watch all of them. I think they're all lovely people.
They're so funny.
They're so funny. I just don't, from like a algorithm wizard perspective, I don't understand how they do it. I don't.
And they upload like once or twice a month, and they're doing well. I'm like, I don't understand this.
By those means, I should also have that many subscribers, but I don't. So I'm just sitting here to go, pour more time into what I make to make it look like theirs.
We're so salty.
And it's in no way I'm mad at them. It's more just like, why YouTube? Why? You say it is one way. Why no? America, explain.
America, explain.
Why Arkansas and not Arkansas? Okay, YouTube, explain. Like, that's how I feel most of the time.
On the topic of small YouTubers, your thoughts on all of the people who are currently sharing all of the small YouTubers.
Good.
Which is something that I am really good, that the community is kind of like trying to like be reactive in terms of all of this new policy stuff and
support.
Support the small YouTubers and shout them out and share them and stuff.
Yeah, dude. I love it.
I've always thought that was the way to go. Dude, I got my start on YouTube, like my big jump start from Dan Howell. Dan tweeted out one of my videos, and that was like the way I got basically started. It was a huge like shock to my channel. It was so good for everything. And I mean, I owe a lot of my success to him. Yeah.
Yep, same. I mean, honestly, if I didn't meet you two at all, like if I just hadn't made friends with either of you, I would not be nearly as successful as I am. So it's like, it's supporting other small YouTubers and being friends, supporting your friends is just, it's so important. You know what I mean? Like, I have such a heart for the small YouTube community just because, man, like, I know them feels, and to see everybody being like, watching and supporting and being like, don't give up, you can do it. It makes my heart happy. And I'm like, yes, guys, support and love each other.
I agree.
I used to do a series on my channel called BAM, and I want to bring it back so much, but I have been so hesitant to do it because of, like, they never get, like, the videos themselves never get as many views, and that's not why I started in the first place. But because, like, YouTube is my job, it was always really difficult to do. And also just because I'd never want to talk about people without their permission. Like, I always want to reach out to them and be like, is it okay if I use this clip? Is it okay if I talk about you? Is there anything specific you want me to say about you? And so I always try to reach out to
I tried to do
people.
that too.
But that takes so much time because it takes, like...
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, it takes so much time for 2 or 3 weeks to just, like, reach out to all the people and be like, hey, is it okay if I do all of this stuff? And I just... I don't know, man. I want to bring it back so much. And now that I have, like, alternative revenue streams, because I'm working with, like, another person on a different YouTube channel, I want to bring it back. And I really want to do it more, but I've just lost so much motivation for YouTube in general.
Yeah, dude, okay, in the first iteration of Panda Time, I did a lot of YouTube channels that I would spotlight every week. And I would, like, show a little clip from their YouTube channel and be like, go follow them. And it was good because it wasn't an individual video. It was, like, a part of my video. So they would get so much more attention from that. So I loved watching people jump in subscriber counts just by, like, me shouting them out. It was, like, the best part of my day. And then I started getting, like, way too many submissions and really weird channels, and then I couldn't, like, reach out to them all the time, because whatever reason, like, they wouldn't reply or whatever, and that takes so long, and so I started stopping reaching out to them. And then every time they'd post something, I felt responsible. Like, if it was something weird, I was like, I'm responsible for all their new subscribers. So I started getting, like, I don't know, I didn't have enough time to, like, understand them as a person and make sure they weren't creepy and weird. Yeah. So I was like, and I don't want to send all these small fangirls to a weird person.
Yeah, I've had that kind of thing happen too, where it's like I would shout someone out, and then a couple, like, videos down the line, they would just say something really stupid, or, like...
Yeah, and I was like,
I don't know if they just say things that were probably not that great, and I'm just like...
I rooted for you!
Oh, we were all rooting for you!
We were all rooting for you! Oh my god, it was just too much, like, inner turmoil, and I couldn't deal with all that extra stress, because I don't know if you guys know this, YouTube's a little stressful sometimes.
A little bit.
It's maybe one of the most stressful jobs out there.
Yep.
Because I work in IT, which I get yelled at all the time. It's not as bad as YouTube.
I believe it, dude.
I mean, if you think about it, the entire internet is yelling at our corners 24/7.
Yep.
It's like you're sitting in this corner,
so
and
loud.
every moment of every day, someone is talking to you. Mm-hmm. Like, I can go and pull up the streams of comments that are just perpetually incoming about...
Do you guys read through all your comments anymore?
I do.
I used to read every single one.
I can't. I used to. I miss those days. I used to spend like an hour, 2 hours when I got home
read
from
what
work,
I can.
just
you know what I
to
mean?
every comment. Yeah.
Especially
I absolutely don't.
In lulls between videos, I read what I can. I also have a really, really, really strict, like, block of text that is, like, banned. So I never read through my comments that are, like, filtered. I make my husband do that.
I started doing that a little bit ago. Oh my god, people say some really mean stuff.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, we can block certain words on our channel if we want. And I actually took advice from Hangarine, and I just copy and pasted all of the words he blocks. And plus some extra fan. I blocked fan. You can't talk about fan on my channel.
I didn't know that. That makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
I was sick of it. So, and married. You can't say the word married either.
Oh, that's so specific.
For a number of reasons. Yeah. So I blocked those words, and I blocked boyfriend for a while too, and then I was like, Tony's my boyfriend, I'm okay with that, so I let it back on there. But it was for Dan and Phil. Like, whenever I made videos about them, I was sick of people saying boyfriend, so I blocked it. Anyways, if you're a small YouTuber and you don't do this, you absolutely should. It helps so much. Because people calling you ugly and fat, you don't need that in your life. Get that out of there. They're just saying stuff they're not even thinking. Just block it and never read through it. Because, I don't know, I've read through a couple, they stick in your head. I promise you.
They hurt you. They don't even hurt you. You just dwell on them. It's just...
Dude.
They don't really, like, they don't
Someone talked about my eyebrows once. It's in my head all the time. Every time I touch my eyebrows, it's in my head. I know, it hurts.
I fester, like... Fester is one of my favorite words, because it perfectly describes what I do in my head when I read things that are, like annoying comments. Like, I had this one person who was complaining, because in one of my videos I just said, like, you go girl or boy or non-binary person. And just the fact that I acknowledged the existence of non-binary genders is apparently some ridiculous, like, political statement. And this girl had to go on this huge rant saying that I was a slut and penis means boy and vagina means girl and blah, 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 blah. And then she was just, like, going on and on. And in my head I was just like, girl,
calm
chill.
Down.
But I couldn't stop, just festering over this comment of this girl who was, like, she sounds, like, completely irrational and, like, 12 or, like, way younger.
Of course.
But, like...
they're just taking out anger or repeating things
and so
that they've
I'm
heard.
not, like, gonna reply to it. I'm not gonna say anything mean about it. But it
I
was
used
just,
to.
like...
Did you guys ever used to do that?
Thinking about it.
Used to do what?
The worst I would ever do is delete the comment.
I would block people and reply back in the day. I was really young when I started YouTube.
I hide, I don't even block because they'll know. I hide their comments from the channel, like, period. So I can't see them and nobody else can see them. So they're just viewing my videos, giving me watch time, screaming, giving me engagement, and nobody can fucking see them, including myself.
Nice.
It's the best.
I love that. That's what I do nowadays, but back in the day I was like, I want them to feel this pain.
Let them feel the pain.
I'm going to block you and I want you to know. And dude, I would say, I wouldn't ever, like, call names or anything, but I would, like, break them down. Like,
Should we maybe make an entire podcast about this? Like an entire episode about
podcast about like
just our reactions to like hate.
Yeah, because we're kind of deviating away a little bit from.
We absolutely are. It's a small YouTuber advice. No, it's not. We're just talking now.
But to bring this back to a small YouTuber conversation, when you're bigger, it's easier to filter those out because there are so many other happy, nice comments. When you're a smaller YouTuber, they're in your face.
It's very visible and
personal.
So I guess to continue the conversation, a lot of people are questioning, like, even before this happened, YouTube is getting to be, we're slowly getting more and more of, like, unreliable in terms of monetization and in terms of making money. So a lot of people are looking to other ways to monetize, and how even small YouTubers who don't have a huge audience can maybe start making more money than they would have off of AdSense anyway. So do we have thoughts on that? Mayhaps?
Like Patreon,
I think Patreon's the future. Patreon is the future.
That makes so much more sense. I need to actually do that. But yeah,
me too.
Patreon.
I don't even have one.
I don't think any of us Patreon yet, but we all need to.
We're working on it. I'm in the middle. I have it written and I have my page set up. I just have to get my shit together and make videos.
Same. It's just getting my shit together. That's the thing that's holding me back.
My shit. And also,
if I ever have time, I'm definitely gonna do that.
A lot of people were saying about, I want to leave YouTube. Did you see Twitch?
Yeah. Okay, I haven't looked that much into it, but based on what I was seeing, they're essentially adding an upload option, is what it sounds like.
So right? I kind of checked it out a little bit. It's called Video Producer, and what I don't know yet is if like it keeps a backlog of all your videos, or if it's just like one video that's just available. But you can pre-create, like as a YouTuber would, a video, and put it through on Twitch and have it premiere, quote unquote, and have that be on your channel, and have that be on your Twitch. And then you can also have like replays, you can like upload new ones. I don't know if it saves them, that's the only thing I'm not sure about. But it's Twitch. It's a trusted source, there's a lot of people there. You can also still do your live streams, and you can make money. So
I kind of want to start like trying to live stream on Twitch.
Go for it, man. That sounds like a great idea.
I thought about it myself, I'm not sure.
Whenever I get to do this, like, actually full-time, I'm definitely going to start live streaming more, and I think Twitch is the perfect platform to live stream. I like YouNow, too. YouNow's pretty solid.
YouNow's pretty solid.
Yeah. They do, they have some revenue, but it's all based on, like, what your fans give you.
Yeah.
So it's very varying if they like you or not.
Also, did you guys see the Brave browser?
No, okay, I heard a little bit about this, but I don't really understand.
DeFranco mentioned it, and at first I was like, this seems complicated, and I don't want to look into it. But he mentioned it in his show, and I was like, okay, I'm going to look into it. And it's a little confusing. It's not super straightforward. It took me about an hour to figure out how the hell it worked. But the Brave browser is a browser that was created by the guy who made Firefox or Mozilla or something like that. He either created it or worked very closely with them and then broke off. And so it has anti-tracking and ad block built into the actual browser. And what you can do is if you upload, it actually syncs with your Chrome and your Firefox, so you can actually import all of your bookmarks, all of your passwords in like 2 seconds. And you turn on an option to receive payments, and you turn on an option to view certain ads. So you call it Brave ads. So instead of blocking everything, Brave will like cherry pick ads that aren't going to harm you and are uninvasive and that have a history of like being good. And depending on how you interact with it, how long you look at it, you get something called, I think, a basic attention token. It's called a BAT, B-A-T. And it's something like a cryptocurrency. And it's a little complicated how it like goes round and round from the advertiser to them, to you, to blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you slowly get like a little collection of those, and it goes into your balance. And then you can choose to redistribute those BAT, like in dollars, to YouTube creators specifically. To websites too, but to YouTube creators. And you can sign up to become a verified YouTube creator that can accept these terms of tokens as payment.
That is so cool.
And you can also
that is so cool.
Put funds in your wallet if you want to be like, I have $10 a month. So you can import funds. If you're like, I have $10 a month in my budget to just yeah, gift to Patreon, but extra to, like, instead of a YouTube Red, where part of it's going to YouTube, you can, like, give it to this browser and tell it to distribute. You know what? I think Jax Films makes too much money already. He doesn't get it. I think Philip Franco, he has a lot of patrons. He doesn't get it. But you can specifically, like, turn on and off what YouTubers you want to get a portion of your balance.
That's
and you can
so cool.
It's cool. I'm still trying to figure it the hell out, but that's what I've gathered.
That, like, right now. I'm gonna do that.
I like it so far. The browser is a good browser. I like it a lot.
Dude, I mean, if it imports all of your Chrome settings.
That's so cool.
Oh.
I have a anti-tracking and ad blocker anyways. I used to turn off ad blocker on YouTube anyways, because I was like, I want my favorite creators.
I got $5 in tokens from a link, and as I've been using it, I haven't input any funds or anything. I've set it up and started purposefully interacting and engaging with the few ads that are given to me just to see, and I have gotten like $2-3 more. But it fluctuates.
Interacting with ads?
Yeah, because I mean that's the whole point.
That's
like
so weird. So it's like essentially paying you to put up with ads.
Yeah, but they're not. They're very specific. A lot of them are blocked. They're very few, and I'm always surprised. Like I was on Tumblr and there was a Gushers ad to the point that I didn't even realize it was an ad, and I was like, "Oh, this is a Gushers ad." And then I clicked on it, and that like gave me some engagement with the ad. But because of how Brave is set up, and it was so unintrusive, and I guess Gushers has a good track record, it was like, yeah, we'll show you this one.
That would be so cool. Tony used to do stuff like that all the time, like with Google.
It would be cool if there was some kind of incentivization for advertisers to stop sucking.
Exactly.
Yeah, for real.
Ads are terrible. Ads are terribly written. Ads are terribly put together. Ads are gross. No one wants to watch them. They're horrible. That's why people install ad blocker.
I tried to read a Business Insider article today, and I got on their site. It immediately said, "You have an ad blocker. Turn it off." And I was like, "Okay, I'll turn it off." So I turned it off, and then a thing popped up that was like, "Sign up for our membership program." And I was like, "No." So I exited out of that, and then a whole ad that covered my entire screen popped up, and I was like, "Okay, I give up. I'm not reading this article. Like, bye."
Okay, I want you to download the Brave browser, and I want you to go on that same website, and I want you to tell me the difference. Like, not right now, but
I'm doing it right now. Let's do
really
it live.
Cool, dude. I'm a big fan, and I'm also not sponsored by them. I just happen to find them for listeners.
Yeah, you better not be sponsored.
I mean, the Brave browser, if you want to hit us up.
Yeah, but for real.
Anyway, back on the topic of small YouTubers.
Monetization. We're talking about monetization options.
It's relevant.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's it. Because this would be a good way for, like, to give money to smaller YouTubers and stuff.
And support and blah, blah, blah. I also just spawns and partnerships. I know it's harder to find sponsors and partnerships when you're smaller. But
for real. FameBit, though.
Even...
FameBit's really fun.
FameBit's great. I didn't write that down, but FameBit's great. Yeah. FameBit is a way to find advertisers who want people in your demographic range, in your audience range of like people, and then
what's the minimum? Because I think you do have to have like a minimum follower.
It's got to only be like
5,000. It's 5,000.
It's not super unreasonable. Oh, I guess if you have 5,000, then you already meet the.
But still, AdSense is nothing, so this is still relevant.
AdSense is nothing.
AdSense
FameBit
is
great. FameBit is fun.
FameBit is fantastic.
I've met great.
You can also get into. Philip DeFranco made a point of Teespring. Like Henna and I both use Teespring, and there's no requirements.
I've been meaning to switch to Teespring.
They're great, dude. And even if
nice.
I think he said if you have 100 like views on a video and you get like a small percentage of people to like buy one, you've already gotten more money than you would have gotten from YouTube that whole 6 months period.
For real though.
Yep.
Yeah, by far.
Pretty much. Like Teespring is the bee's knees. I have no complaints.
No, me neither.
And then lastly, I put you can start keynote speaking. It depends on your expertise. But I personally, my day job is working for somebody who does that. And I know Casey Neistat makes a ton of money keynote speaking. As well as a bunch of other YouTubers. I think Rowan does that. Rowan Ellis.
Shoot, dude, I'm learning she does. I didn't know
she
could
does
do that.
You can make a fair amount of money keynote speaking, even if you don't have a huge audience.
I know
as you're, like, knowledgeable.
He's like he's like a trans activist, and like he has one of my favorite podcasts called it's called You're So Brave, and it's like it's a beautiful podcast with like two trans guys just like going on about their experiences, and
Aww.
it's wonderful.
That's nice.
But yeah, he does
so
keynote
wholesome.
speaking.
That's
It
awesome.
is. Oh
So
my god, it's the best thing. But it's so not though. Also, because they go through like all of their what's it called? The prosthetics, the like fake penises for like packing and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
That's
it's
the
awesome, and they're both hilarious too. They're also really hilarious.
I'll have to check that out. Dude, I'm gonna check out both these things. Keynote and We're So Brave. Is that what it's called?
You're so brave.
You're
I think
So
is what
Brave.
it's
Oh
called.
my goodness. That sounds
But
fantastic.
yeah, one of my favorite. Yeah, I feel like that one might be my favorite podcast actually. I have a thought about the small YouTuber things that someone had said that was very, I don't know, kind of a little bit soul crushing, and it made me very sad because it was like a smaller YouTuber, and he was saying like, hey, other small YouTubers, don't get too attached because from like all the subscribers that you're getting from all of these people who are shouting at your channels because they're not going to watch your videos. They're like, they're subscribing to your channel, but they're probably not going to watch your stuff.
Wow.
That's
And
mean.
It made me
not
really
very nice.
sad. It made me so sad.
That's
'cause it was
absolutely
so
not true, by the way.
No.
The more people get to see your content, the more likely it is that somebody's gonna love you.
Yeah.
There is somebody out there that is
Like,
gonna
it
love
will
your
expand
content.
your
It doesn't
audience.
matter what you do. If you are passionate about whatever you're talking about, people are gonna watch it and they're gonna love it. It doesn't. Dude, I found Ants Canada. Do you know what that is? It's an ants channel. It's literally about
No.
the insect
Ants?
ants.
That's great.
Fracking love that channel. It's just about him, this guy and his ants, but he is so pumped about his ants, and I don't like ants at all. It makes every time I watch his videos, I get all creepy crawly, and like it makes my skin itchy. But I watch him because this guy is like a little bean. He's so wholesome, and he's just pumped about his ants. So this is what I'm saying. Anytime people find your channel, like if it's not their cup of tea, it's not their cup of tea. But people are gonna like you if you're passionate. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Exactly. Be yourself. and
Oh, be
everything else
yourself.
will
It's so
happen.
cheesy, but it's so true. And I know it's so
It is.
It's discouraging when it like time after time if you get like 100 videos and or 100 views and nobody subscribes from that. It is a little sad because it's like 100 people watched this video and nobody liked it, you know. But that's not at all what it is. That's not what it is. And if they're not the right people, then they're not the right people, and you didn't want them watching your shit anyways.
Yeah, and also it's a learning experience. Like when I was the small bean, I think every small YouTuber goes through this. It's like, 100 people watched it, but nobody subscribed. That sucks. That hurts. But you got to remind yourself, like, I'm getting better at doing this just from making it. By taking the hours to do that, to write it, to make it, you've just become a better writer, video editor, animator, talker, whatever the heck you're doing. You've become better at it. So you're always progressing.
Absolutely. And YouTube's such a good hobby too, because like these skills, they are good for so many jobs. Being comfortable on camera, being able to talk, being able to write a script and articulate your words like I can't ever.
To run all these programs, to run like Photoshop.
The software, so good to learn how to use. I can write Adobe products on my resume forever, and that's always a plus. Yep. It's like knowing another language. Like it's always going to be a benefit. You're never going to hurt yourself by doing this hobby. I think treating YouTube as a hobby as opposed to a profession is a great way to go about it.
Yeah. It's like Crystal. I think this was at the one of the panels that we went to. Tom Scott. He was talking about like how even for small YouTubers, if you have like 1,000 subscribers, you can dress that up. If you say that on like a resume to people who are completely disconnected from this industry, that's a lot of people. Like if you say like, oh, I have 1,000 people who follow me and watch my stuff, like in the real world, that's a lot. That's so much.
That is.
And you
can always say like your lifetime views too, which add up real
Yeah,
fast.
that's always impressive.
Yeah, that's always really
I can say 28 million, and that sounds like so much.
Yeah.
I say it on everything. I write it down all the time. That's why I have that number in my head right now, because I write it on everything.
It's so many.
Right, so there's a lot of pluses beyond just, like, getting subscribers. And, I mean, making internet friends is a huge plus, too. Like, literally all of us are internet friends.
That was the original reason that I made BAM, was to give myself a reason and an excuse to approach other YouTubers who are, like, my size and be like, hey, guys, I want to... Because if you go up to someone and you're like, hey, can I just talk to you and be your friend, they're more likely to brush you off as like, this is just some sub for sub bullshit, isn't it? But like, if you go up to them and you're like, hey, can I like talk about you, people are much more inclined to be like, oh, well, maybe you actually do like my stuff if you're willing to put me in a video.
I love that. See, I used to like reach out to people and then like we'd message back and forth, but it always ended up being like a sub for sub kind of thing. And like I always had people like negotiating like whether we would tweet each other out or like put each other in our sidebars. You know what I'm talking about. Like all the time. And I was like, why can't we just talk and share knowledge?
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we
be friends? Why can't we be friends?
Anyway, it's easier when you're smaller also, I feel like, to make
making friends when you're smaller is so much easier.
Make them when you're small. If you're a small YouTuber, bask in the glory of being able to make friends without having to worry about
I used to
so
say
much
this
harder
to myself all the time. Bask in the glory of being invisible. Like, I miss the days when I could just say and do whatever the heck I wanted.
That sounds
put it
so
up on the internet, and no one... Yeah, I know.
No, it's good though.
It's
so... We're genuine.
It does sound condescending. But I really do miss it. I miss the days of just being able to, like, say whatever I wanted and stuff on the internet
pressure.
And yell into the void.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite videos from your old ones, Echo, are when, like, I don't know, you put, like, markers on your wall. Like, you taped something to your wall that was just absurd. And it was fucking hilarious. And I know, now that I know you better, I know it's because you're like, I can do what I want. Nobody's gonna fucking watch this. Yeah. And there's a freedom to that. Like, you can make really bad videos, like cringe-worthy videos that are so funny to watch later, and nobody cares. Dude, when you get to a certain subscriber point, you get stressed.
Yeah. Like, not only can you do, like, bad stuff, but you can do, like, weird stuff. Like, I miss being a small YouTuber and just doing the weirdest stuff that only, like, made sense to me and my sister. Like, it's just nonsense craziness. Like when I had my second channel, or my first channel, really, I did an Irish baking video that was just the weirdest. It wasn't, like, racist or anything. It was just the weirdest stuff ever. Like, I went on and on. I rambled, like I'm doing right now. And it was just so much fun to just be weird and have fun on the internet. And if I uploaded something like that to my channel now, which I do every once in a while, but the reaction is never like, haha, Hannah, you're so fun and weird. It's always like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just having a good time on the internet, like it was supposed to be.
I think you only have that luxury when you're small, and then again, only when you're stupidly big. Yeah. So people like Markiplier,
I love it when he
stupidly popular, can upload a video of him making his dog say silly stuff, and it's great.
Or like so where he put his mouth on cats,
yes,
like meow, in his like Markiplier voice. That was the best thing ever.
Those are the two extremes, and you don't get to the other one for a long time.
His April Fool's videos. He would just, like, stare at a piece of fruit, like a banana. He would just sit there and stare at a banana for, like, an hour. It's amazing. You should go watch that. It's so funny. I miss weird YouTube. That's all I gotta say.
I miss
you have a weird YouTube
day. That's another thing. Can that please be its own podcast? Because do you remember the weird side of YouTube? And I'm not talking about, like, oh my god, this video is so weird, or when people are like, oh, I found the weird side of YouTube. It's like, you don't even know. You don't even know what the weird side of YouTube, unless you were here between, like, 2006 and 2010, you don't know what the weird side of YouTube was. And I feel like YouTube has hidden it. Like, they've intentionally worked to
they want to get rid of it.
Because it's unprofessional.
It's not TV.
I feel like YouTube killed the weird side of YouTube because it's unprofessional and it looks wrong.
Yeah, that's an entire podcast. Let's make that an entire episode of the podcast.
The weird side of YouTube.
So I think we're probably about hit our time mark, Echo, right?
Yeah.
You want to, like, wrap it up with a positive thought, guys?
Probably a good idea.
I don't know anything that I can say positive that's not going to sound condescending. But
okay,
just let's take a second. Like, we're being genuine. We were all small YouTubers. We're still relatively small, so take our words as truth, please. Be yourself. Have fun. It's supposed to be fun. That's what this was all about. Just have a good time and do whatever you want, and somebody's going to love you so much. I do already.
We all love so much already.
And make friends. Like,
make friends.
If you really, like, if your only goal on YouTube is just to grow and get big in money, still make friends, because, like, you grow in groups. Like, it just makes the ride a million times better anyway. I don't know if that sounds, like, stupid or condescending, but...
No, it sounds a little like when my partner manager says collab more all the time, every single time we talk. It sounds like that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine too.
I hate it when she says that. I'm like, my fans don't respond to that. My fans don't respond to that. And she's like, collab. No. But it's absolutely true that having friends in the YouTube, that in, like, the YouTube sphere that get it, even if they just are viewers, even. Because I think I've made some of my best YouTube friends as my viewers.
Yeah, dude.
From the beginning, too. When I was small. Like, it was easier when I was small, actually. Because it felt more like just a conversation as opposed to, like, a fan creator thing. So just make friends with your viewers and with your fellow creators, and it can be a good time.
I agree. I would probably say, like, if you're feeling disheartened, if you're a creator, a small creator that got hit with this and you're feeling disheartened, first of all, I tweeted this, but, like, one, don't let anybody tell you not to be mad about the demonetization. Yes. We all know it's not about the money. Don't listen to them. Your feelings are valid.
Righteous.
Your salt is real. Your salt is real, and we acknowledge it.
Two, and I would say just, like, I mentioned it, but, like, we've seen it over the last year specifically, even before all this. The internet is evolving as it does. Time is going on. Things are evolving. We, as YouTubers who are not multimillionaires, like, have to evolve too. So use it as a opportunity to challenge yourself creatively, to use the internet as a platform, not only YouTube, whether it's Twitch, whether it's whatever the heck. You can do it. You're creative. You're awesome. And as far as the viewers, I forgot. Last episode, I was like, we didn't address the viewers. Like, if you're a YouTube fan, if you're a YouTube viewer, do not get disheartened about the fact that all you see is just a whole bunch of, like, fake BS. Like, there is good stuff on YouTube, and there are good creators, and hopefully this is kind of like a kick in the pants for everybody to start sharing more. There is a social currency that is like, oh, I don't want to watch them, they're not that popular. Just trust everybody starts somewhere, and even if it's just for 30 seconds, give them a chance. Give small people a chance, and if you don't like them, move on. But to get that content that you missed from, like, 2014, the good old YouTube, blah, 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 you can still get that if you tell YouTube what you want with your views.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that view is going to mean so much more to them than it did to that other person.
I also feel like we need to work together to lift each other up. I don't know. I feel like we need to get stronger as a community.
I agree.
We're falling apart.
YouTube's not going to help. Yeah.
YouTube is not a competition. YouTube, there's views for everybody. You know what I mean? It's not like, who's doing better than me? Why are they doing better? Blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody's in this together. There's, like, it's free.
Yeah, it's a free website.
So there's, as a community, like, there is already a really great community. We just need to, like, friggin' know that we're there and, like, get in touch with each other more often. And, I don't know, just don't let sub counts dictate who you watch and who you're friends with. I guess.
It's gonna be okay.
It's all gonna be okay. YouTube, if you're listening, please get it together.
Oh, for reals. For real. You should have delayed this rollout for at least a month after all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's what we have to say about that.
Yeah.
That's all we got to say about that.
I think that's all the salt.
That's all the salt for today.
All the salt for this week.
Are you feeling cleansed? Because I'm feeling cleansed.
I'm so cleansed. We did a nice salt cleanse.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes. Yes.
Oh my god, if we ever make merch, we should make a salt cleanse.
Oh my god, yes. And can we also have a salt in the wound?
Oh my god. So much room.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
All right, you want to say our platforms, Crystal?
If you want more salt in your life, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, listen to us on iTunes, or listen to us on SoundCloud. We are at Release the Salt on Twitter and Instagram. And
do we have an Instagram?
We do. I made one.
We're up with the times. We're cool with the kids.
Yeah. Oh, we're so cool.
Hip and cool with the kids. That's awesome.
And we make new podcasts every Monday.
All right. Links are down below wherever you're watching, probably.
If you guys want to follow us as individuals, our tags are
at Happy Panda Party,
at Echo is Weird,
and at The Crystal Joy.
And remember, the human body cannot survive without salt. Bye-bye, everybody.
Until next time.
Bye.
Ooh,
see you next week.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.